Hello and welcome to another episode of Historic Hindsight. I'm John, that's Tom, and today, Tommy's mad at happiness.
That's right, Johnny. I'm mad at happiness, the happiest place in the world. I can't
I don't get
stand.
this take. I don't get this take, Tommy. This is, you are on an island here, I believe.
That I hate.
Maybe sparsely
Disney?
populated island, but an island nonetheless, because you were mad at what exactly? At just the Disney Corporation, just...
Well, Disney Corporation, Walt Disney himself. Anything Disney, I just don't like. But I feel like I'm justified in this particular position, although I warn you ahead of time. I realize this might come off a little bit political given that certain things have just recently changed. But I assure you that in no way, shape, or form that this is any response to anything political. It is just me absolutely hating the fact that Walt Disney created its own government to control how it operates its enterprise in Florida, and we're going to tell you about the history of that and how that happened. And
and I'm here. I can confirm that this is something Tommy's been mad about for years and years. There is nothing political here driving this horrible take that he has. So all right, well, what exactly are you mad about today, Tommy?
So specifically, we're talking about his Walt Disney's created a special district in Florida that enables him to operate like in the gray area of the law. But so, Johnny,
within the confines of
the whole
the
story.
Law,
how did Disney become effectively its own government? We'll get there. So, 1955, you're Walt Disney. You just got done eating your Jell-O hot dog water casserole, and you're thinking, Disneyland isn't making me enough money, and I don't own and control my neighbors' businesses. So, how can I go ahead and do that and make more money? So
he bought up the businesses, or
well, so fast forward.
That's capitalism, Tommy.
4 years
why
down
are
the
you
line,
mad at capitalism?
It's now 1959. He is not happy that Disneyland itself, in California, he's bought up as much acreage as he can, but it's California, and there's not a lot to be had. He's got 160 acres of heavily government-controlled land because it's California, and that's what they do. It's also California.
That's not a lot of land for something like Disneyland.
No, it's also California in Orange County, where there are, less than savory businesses within driving distance of Disneyland. And that just ruins the ambiance. You can't go and have a fun time with the mouse if there's a strip club a couple blocks.
No, of course, yeah. You want the entire experience to be a magical experience. And that's kind of what they have set up now. You kind of enter their own little world, and you forget everything on the outside, and you go broke and into debt, and you're as happy as a clam. Or your kids are. You're miserable for the most part.
No
but
adult
your kids
is
love
happy
it, sort of.
in Disney.
The
really.
days get long, though, and it's hot, and they want to go in early and just swim at the hotel pool. But it's a magical kingdom. It's a magical place.
So, Disney actually does his own little study, and he finds out that only 5% of the East Coast has actually made it to Disneyland, or even remotely interested in going to Disneyland. So basically, 75% of the United States is it's just like that's too far of our. That's too far. It's too far. We're not gonna. There's nothing convenient out there. It's on the other end of the United States, and it's not a densely. Despite like LA, all that stuff. You've got California that's densely populated, and then you have all the plethora of those southwestern states in between that have like 10 people that live in them. So.
Right, and and then you get into like the Midwest and the South and everything in the heartland of the United States. And from Indiana, we'll drive to Florida. Like that's every spring break. There are just swarms of people driving to Florida. We're not going to drive to California.
Yeah, a 16-hour drive or even a 20-hour drive for a Midwesterner, that's doable. Sure. Anything beyond that 20-hour mark, if you can't overnight it to get there, we're not driving. But with drive, it's got to be a single stupidly trip. Hours. Yeah. Yep. So he wants to build himself a new park that can attract more of the United States. More guests, make him more money, and in an area that he can kind of control more of what's going on around his park. Basically, buy up as much land as he can. The first problem is
Sure.
now, Johnny, where do we build this new magical kingdom? Logic would say, if you want to get the most Americans that you can, centralize Indianapolis, Indiana, Heartland, or Crossroads, whatever the hell it's called. Crossroads.
It's the Crossroads. That's Indiana. Indianapolis is it's a quaint little town. It would have done great for Disney World.
But that's not going to do it because... Yeah, it's the centrally located area as in geography,
Indiana?
But not centrally located as in people or money. And I think money's the bigger kicker there. So you think, all right, well, if you're going to go out to the East Coast, Indiana. Logic would say New York area somewhere, right? If you're going to go to the biggest populated area in California, why not the biggest populated area in the East? New York.
Yeah, Big Apple.
The Big Apple has no land and also is very, very, very governmentally regulated. So same problem there.
So then, it's tight living. There's not much. Upstate New York has plenty, but that doesn't have people.
So you think, all right, well, maybe Boston or Virginia somewhere, South Carolina, North Carolina, one of those middle centrally located East Coast,
Think of the weather
on the ocean. And then you got the weather that you have to worry about, and you also have the fact that there's
operation.
The people that go to Boston or Virginia are nerds like me that like history, and we just can't have them. That's a different type of nerd that we want than what we want at Disneyland. So they're not
different type of person that dresses up as fictional characters.
Yes, so we want warm weather climate too. So Mr. Disney gets in a plane, flies over Florida, and sees this beautiful swampland that, strangely enough, has a massive infrastructure of roads running through it. And he's like, right there, that's where I want to put it. It has the proposed Interstate 4, which is about ready to be built there. It's got the McCoy Air Force Base, which is about ready to become a civilian airport. At least that's the rumor. We don't need the Air Force Base there anymore. It's about ready to become its own little airport. So now you've got this massive area to fly people in and massive road infrastructure that stupid Midwesterners will easily drive down to go to your park.
Or Midwesterners looking for a magical experience and a fun-filled family vacation, Tommy.
Sure.
Stupid Americans will drive to Boston and walk around old military marching routes to feel like they were there back in the day.
I mean, I really just wanted to go to the Springfield Armory, and then the wife would not let me go to the Springfield Armory, so I did get to see John Proctor's
that's way cooler than Disney World, Tommy.
That was, I mean, to me... It is. It is. Don't. I'm gonna shit. Okay, fine. I'm shitting on the things that you love, so you can shit on the things I love. I guess that's fine. That's fair. Fine. Whatever. Anyways, getting off topic. It is the area that he's got specifically laid out is a huge 27,000 acre stretch of land near Bay Lake. And now
we're talking.
Now it's on to buy it. As of right now, it is mostly just swampland. Not a lot of landowners
cheap
that are
then,
there
right?
to buy the land. Real cheap.
I mean, it's just a natural habitat for hundreds and thousands of native species. What could go wrong with filling it in with concrete? Nothing. They built the what's the world one? The nature one. They built a park about nature. It's all
Animal
plastic
Kingdom, which is
nature
crumbling down, and they brought that tree in from Africa that's now dying, even though those trees are supposed to live for thousands and thousands of years, but it's dying because it's in Florida and it's not supposed to be there. Yeah. Sure. Or that kid that got eaten by an alligator.
I don't think was that at the park or.
At least it was on one of the resorts.
Anyway,
I think it was in the area that Disney owns. It definitely was in the area that Disney owned, and not in the park, but in one of the resorts that they own.
So just a couple things could go wrong. Nothing big, but the land's there, the infrastructure's there with the roads and everything. So that's he's a capitalist. What he's gonna make business decisions, Tommy.
Business decisions, yeah. 1963, Johnny, he's now ready to buy the land, but the problem is the land's cheap now, but if people start to hear that Disney is looking at buying a huge swath of land, those prices are going to go skyrocketing through the roof. Because
Shell Corporation then, right?
So Shell Corporation, not a Shell Corporation, Shell Corporations, multiple Shell Corporations. Some of the funnest names that I found were the Central American the Latin American Development Company and the Reedy Creek Ranch Corporation. We've got to throw a ranch in there so we can sound like, we're going to ranch some cows out here in the middle of the swamp or something.
That's right. Yeah, it's some Texan who's interested in this swamp land.
Yep.
Interested in getting into alligator wrangling, perhaps.
The maybe the Disney World project itself had to be shrouded in secrecy, so nobody outside of the inner circle was allowed to speak of it. And anytime it was mentioned, it was mentioned as the Florida project, which is pretty stupid if you're trying to like prevent people from jacking up the land prices by like saying exactly what state you're buying land in. So anybody with half a sense could look at. Call it the penis project
or something. That way people know what you're talking about without really knowing what you're talking about, you know?
Right? Something. But in any case, it's secret. It's known as the Florida Project. He creates multiple shell corporations, and they begin offering landowners as little as $100 an acre in 1964. And it's not hard for them to sell the stuff because, well, I don't want to fucking swamp. Could you imagine?
You want to give me $100 for my swamp? Sure. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but you just bought land, and you did not pay $100 an acre.
No. It was significantly more than $100 per acre.
Significantly more. But
that's in a very cheap area in Indiana. In southeastern Indiana, by the way. Like, middle of nowhere. Hour from everything. And, still substantially more.
You're only a half an hour from the booming metropolis of Madison.
That's right. Yeah, that's the big city. Madison, Indiana is the big city to folks around here.
Big city.
Because they have a Walmart.
He acquires a total of 27,443 acres or 43 square miles to build his Disney County. I'm sure none of these shell corporations that he was using ever embezzled any money or did any kind of tax evasion, because that would be illegal, and Walt Disney would never do anything illegal.
I mean, prove it, Tommy. I mean, what bad did Walt Disney ever do?
Pretty sure he hosted
Walt Disney
some
was a Nazi episode
Nazis.
Or whatever that we
had. He definitely hosted some Nazis at his house. His next obstacle, now that he has the land, comes the actual mineral rights. So, in the weird thing in the United States, I don't know if this exists anywhere else. When you buy land, you don't necessarily own the natural resources on said land. So you don't necessarily own the water rights. You don't necessarily own the mineral rights. That becomes
Is this to prevent some sort of like if I found oil on my land, they could be like, oh, well, actually, that's ours.
Yeah, sort of. It's most of the time when you buy the land, you do own those rights, but it's not all the time that you do. And in this particular situation, the vast majority of the land that he bought, the mineral rights to that land, was actually owned by a local college. So, not necessarily a big deal unless they decide to dig up your land searching for said minerals, like there might be gold there, we got to dig it up. Or, I'm doing a geology project and I want to dig it up. And if they own the mineral rights, that means that they can dig wherever they want, including if you already have a building there. Oh, sorry about you.
Sorry.
There's gold underneath it and we want it and we own the mineral rights, so you got to move
it's like finding a dinosaur like half under your house. They're going to take down that half of your house and get the rest of that dinosaur. And they'll pay you for relocation or whatever. They'll put you up in a hotel or this, that, or the other. But yeah, they're going to take what they want. And so mineral rights did not come with this land.
No, it did not come with this land.
The college had it. What's the college do? They just had research project.
It's a massive swamp. It's probably like we have this mineral rights to this natural resource area that nobody was living in except for some alligators.
No, I'm sure they do like biology classes.
Probably,
you do biology. You do like water testing. So
Yeah, it was Tufts University, and Disney uses his, again, this is before it becomes public knowledge that he's bought all this land and is going to build an amusement park. He reaches out to the administration through his shell corporations, and they manage to buy the mineral rights for the entire 43 square miles for $15,000, and that's it. Imagine you're the financial advisor or the financial person who's in control of that at the university, who then sells it for $15,000, and then immediately after, Disney announces that they're building a park there, and then goes, "Shit! I could have exploited them for so much more money."
Yeah, this dude, he lost his job, right? Like you're
guaranteed.
You're getting fired after that. Like you have very few decisions to make. And selling all of your mineral rights to one of the largest corporations at the time for next to nothing.
Next to nothing.
In the grand scheme of things.
Not smart.
Bad move. It's not the best.
Now, he gets all the land purchased. He gets the mineral rights taken care of. He's got everything squared away in 1965 before the story breaks. So before the story breaks, he's got it all squared away. Now, it doesn't take
that's exactly what he wanted. He's doing
exactly
well.
What
This is what are you mad about? He is literally just being a capitalist American, Tommy.
Maybe that's what I'm mad about, Johnny.
Have you never read about a business owner before? Like, you're just so caught up in history that you're like, oh, nobody owned businesses in history. So, like, the first one you found, you're like, oh, Walt Disney, he was kind of a dick about it. No shit. Welcome to business, Tommy.
So the story breaks in 1965. There are private, independent journalists who are looking into it going, there's a fucking shit ton of land that just got bought, and mineral rights that just got bought by these Latin American development company. What the hell is this about? Looking into it. Oh, Disney. They're all owned by Disney. Oh okay. Disney must be building a park. So Disney has to force his announcement. He wanted to make the announcement closer. I think it was November, December. He was forced to announce it closer in the summer. Like, hey, Disney World, we're going to build a new park. It's going to be amazing. Come check it out. In a couple of years, when it gets built.
Buzz is good buzz.
So now he's got his final obstacle. You got the land. You got the mineral rights. Now you got to build it, and now you got to deal with the government when you build it. There are regulations on what you can build, how much where you can build. What you have to pay for things like water resources and getting that all arranged and making sure you're not polluting the local water sources. You got to make sure you've got police
which
forces
they only care about
fire
that unless
departments.
You have money.
Yeah, all
money
of that
will take care of all of that. All of that will go away with money. The big thing, like, it's got to be the big regulations are hurricanes, right? Like, you have to build.
Yeah, you got to build a hurricane spec. Yeah,
hurricanes. Because guess what, guys? Florida gets hit every once in a while with a gigantic hurricane.
Now, Walt Disney
Disney's inland, right? But it's still.
Yeah, Walt Disney it finds a loophole in Florida law, which is actually a law in a lot of the states, where you can create special districts. Basically, it's a county within a county, where if there is a certain developmental improvement being made, like, let's say, water infrastructure, things of that nature, that special county can control that district and control basically the government of that district. So, using his shell corporations again, on March 11th, 1966, the landowners of that 43 square miles, which is now Disney Shell Corporation's, petition the Florida government to allow them to create a special district for the management of the waterways.
Okay.
And they proposed it to be the Reedy Creek Improvement.
This all sounds like you're mad about legal things taking place, Tommy.
Yeah, well, okay. It's the Reedy Creek Drainage District. That's what was proposed. And on May 13th, 1966, the Reedy Creek Improvement District was created, approved, and put into place. It is a government by council, which is elected by landowners.
Okay.
And since Disney is pretty much the only landowner in this special district.
So I get it. So you're upset that he is upsetting the other landowners in this district. You're upset because
you
there
now
are landowners
have
that are
a
mad
corporation ruling a county inside of a state. You think
a corporation who is taking ownership of land that they legally bought and doing what they want on it? I'm sorry, Tommy. I thought this was America.
I can't. Yeah, but I can't do that. And since I can't do that, then nobody should be able to do that. And that's why I'm mad. So, bear with me.
Tommy, I got bad news for you about rich people. You're not going to like it. But they're able to do all sorts of shit that you can't do.
Here's the uncouth aspects of what Disney's been able to do by having this special district. All the waste management, water resources, all that fun stuff. If you're a corporation and if you own the mall, the local malls, which I know we don't have any malls anymore, but if you own a local mall, you're going to have to pay the city for water. You're going to have to pay the city for sewage and waste disposal. You're going to have to pay the city for security details, taxes, and fire departments, all that fun stuff. But when you are the government, do any of that shit. And bigger,
so they don't pay. So they don't pay for any of these things, or the government's doing them for them for free. or they're paying and having it done themselves?
It's a gray area, and I'll get into it in a second.
Is it a gray area? Or
yes,
are they just
area.
paying for all the shit and taking care of it themselves,
okay. So
and they created their own mini corporations to do it all?
So, as far as taxes are concerned, it is estimated that Disney owns the state of Florida an absolute metric ton in property taxes. The problem is, when they created this special district, those property taxes are supposed to pay for all of that. The local counties that are next to it within the special district actually foot a lot of the bills for the Reedy Creek entities in and of themselves.
Okay.
They also have an issue with...
Tommy, you paid any taxes towards the Colts Stadium?
Yes, I do. Well, no, I don't. I'm out of that county. No, I don't. I'm out of that county. I don't have to pay that. That's only in Marion County. I think it's the immediate surrounding counties of Marion, and I'm out of that county. Don't have to pay for that anymore. Used to. Don't have to do now. And Johnny, I was mad about that too. You can't be like, oh, you paid the fucking Colts Stadium. Yeah, I was pissed about that. I didn't vote on that.
Right. No, what I'm saying, Tommy, is you were literally just singling out a single corporation that does the things that they all do.
All of them do. And you're mad? It's a whole county. It's really not a building. It's a county.
Because Knights of the Old Republic... Okay, but Knights of the Republic 3 hasn't come out, and that's why you're mad at them. Just be honest about it.
Yeah, because they could have. Disney bought all the Star Wars shit, and you know what we haven't had since Disney bought the Star Wars shit, Johnny? We haven't had a good Star Wars game minus Force Unleashed. Was that what it was? Not Force Unleashed. God damn it, the one with the stupid redheaded kid, and he's fucking flying around. And
Force Unleashed was good, too.
That was good, but that wasn't...
Yeah, there have been several, but that's fine.
I don't think that wasn't Disney. Disney didn't have that one. That was pre-Disney, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was somebody else.
Anyways, so you got that gray area. The reason why they're able to avoid a lot of the property taxes is because, well, there's a certain political party who likes them being there and then just shakes their hand and is like, yeah, don't worry about those taxes. Yeah, don't worry about those taxes. Yeah, don't worry about those taxes. And if you go back in history, that certain political party is pretty easy to figure out which one I'm talking about. But in any case... The real hindrance here is what it does do is it allows them to circumnavigate a lot of local and state ordinances. Mm-hmm. So if there is a state minimum wage, Disney's not obligated to follow that. They're obligated to follow the federal laws, but they're not obligated to follow the state and county and local laws.
No.
So that's the problem. The other big issue is they could build how and what they wanted so long as they follow the federal guidelines. But when you own your own county and you're the government of that county, who's really checking in on you? And when they're greasing the palms of the Florida government, they're probably greasing the palms of the federal government. And when this entire project is built and completed by 1971, it's not a far-fetched idea to think that some of those building codes might have been a little not up to standard. It also prevents...
Is that on account of all of the hurricane damage that came afterwards, or why would they have not been built? Is Disney known to have lots of things?
It's too quick. No, I mean, no, but it's...
Okay, so they built them quickly. You're upset about that because they paid to have things done quickly. And then subsequently they did not get destroyed by all of the hurricanes they've been hit with since the 70s, which is presumably a couple.
You're assuming that they've never
had to rebuild anything. Your evidence of them not being built to code goes against all tangential evidence. It is just, they built it faster than I think they should have been able to.
Yes. Okay, well, it's fine. Right, no, but it wouldn't have been possible if he did this. If he did this in Indiana without the special district, he would not have been able to build it. Disney, anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Disney himself is going to die on December 15th, 1966. So he himself is not going to see any of this shit. He does see the Reedy Creek development take over as a government, but he's
going to be cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, sure. He's not going to see. We'll get to that. We'll do an episode on that and why that rumor exists. But in any case, yeah, he does that. His brother Roy does take over. There's big cold issues, as I said, as its own independent government, and he doesn't do this. But I'm surprised he doesn't do this. He theoretically could have paid his people in government in company stocks that he could only buy in the company stores. The real issue, if you're a capitalist, and you're saying, oh, this is what businesses do, capitalist, it's a monopoly. That whole county, there's practically no businesses that operate inside the Disney realm of operations that are not owned by Disney, which means if you go to Disney and you're going to stay in a hotel and you don't want to drive 45 minutes, an hour to get to Disney, you're paying for a Disney hotel. You're paying for a Disney restaurant. You're paying for a Disney taxi cab.
So hold up. You're saying it's a monopoly, but all you're doing is giving up convenience to go to their property. It's convenience. It's not a monopoly. You can stay an hour out and then drive an hour into it if you want to. Like you can do that. Tommy, you know how many corporations own everything in the world? Like,
but not this outright. It's not this overt. It's not like I own a whole county. I don't own a whole county. Well, you know what? And you know what? The thing is, I should have done this episode 6 months ago because now it's friggin' pointless because Florida got rid of this special district in the most obscure way. So, paint a picture here. We got
this is truly history.
This part is truly history. Yeah. This is a true historic.
it just doesn't
effective in March of next year. But yeah, it's truly
the shit you're mad about. Okay,
so
all right.
Which is now actually kind of came around and fucked them in another way. But so basically, all the time that this was created, from the 60s up until today, you had a certain political party that was opposed to this. A political party that, say, is against big business and said, you've got a lot of unethical things that could happen when you've got a corporation owning the government and not allowing the rule of law, like democracy. You can't have democracy if I don't get a vote. But I don't get a vote because I can't live there. I don't know why we would want to. Maybe some people probably do. In any case, so you get that political party that's very opposed to it and had been very opposed to it and had voted against a lot of things that it was doing for this entire time. And then you had the other party that was pro big business and was allowing them to not pay taxes for decades. And then one of those parties created a law where you couldn't say a specific word. We'll just say gay. And then...
For example... It's another word because we can't say the word that they said that.
Yeah, that's
you can't be like, it's the "don't say gay" bill because that would be.
And then that would be bad. That'd be ridiculous.
So we'll just pretend that it's as ridiculous as that.
So Disney, the corporation now, ignoring all of what Walt Disney stood for, said no, that law is stupid, and we support the LGBTQ community. Just look at our plethora of work from 2018 forward. Don't look. Before then, just look from 2018 forward. We're super in support of
definitely not Nazis.
Demographic of people, and then so the one party that was against the special district was like, "Yay, Disney! I love the special district." And the other party that was for it, that they're like, "You don't like our bill? No, we hate you. You don't run our government. We're taking it away from you." And so now they did, and now those counties are going to have to fork the entire bill for Disney, and Disney still likely won't have to pay property taxes because, well, all those tax benefits are still lining the pockets of the people who got elected, so they're not going to go away.
Well, no.
But the special county went away.
So. Because a bunch of certain political party members wanted to ban the use of the word gay.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
In the year of our Lord 2022.
Yes. That is the Disney Special District in a nutshell, and apparently, according to Johnny, I have no reason to be mad, and I really don't have any reason to be. Just, you can skip this episode. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But it was still fun. Merry Christmas.
Tell them that at the beginning.
This will drop on Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That's it for this week in Historic Hindsight. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and join us next week when we talk about how an Elvis impersonator and a Taekwondo instructor maybe tried to kill Obama.